men do a lot to be better men, and they're not told to keep a woman. But women are trying to prove that they don't need a man. But it's like the opposite.
Because when we get money so that we can take on dependence. I can have a family. I can have kids. When women get money, it's for your independence. I don't need a man. I don't need this. I can buy my own house. But if you do that, you take away his need. If you got the house, the car, and he has no purpose for that relationship. So he will not have the vigor it takes to make sure that the relationship is abundant, joyous, and in harmony. He doesn't have the joy.
He can provide emotional intelligence.
It don't work like that. You can't tell a man what's intrinsically important to him just because you want it to be important. When you take away, that's why so many successful women are single. That's why. And I'm not saying that their decision was right or wrong. I am saying that they're devoid of being able to pair bond with the kind of man they want. And if they're going to successfully pair bond or have a half a chance at it, they got to date down.
Provide me loyalty. I can finance myself.
A man don't operate like that. If a man is a man, we're natural teachers. So if we're not trying to teach you what we know, we really don't like you. That's the quickest way to see if a man. What does that got to do with
loyalty?
I just said men don't work like that.
Right.
I started off with that. Mm-hmm. That platitude means nothing to a man. You can repeat it, regurgitate it, and put it on your picture 3 times and your story, and the man still ain't gonna resonate with, I can buy my own car, give me loyalty. No. Intrinsically, we have to feel needed and necessary to the relationship. You came having everything. You don't listen. You have an attitude and you think your accolades, your success, and your bank account makes us an equal.
Yeah,
and it does not.
I asked, what does that have to do with loyalty? I didn't say she's got an attitude, she's got this. No, what if she's in her feminine and she just wants loyalty?
The way a man sees loyalty ain't necessarily the way a woman sees loyalty, because we're hardwired differently. If he cannot build with her and further build her up, that relationship will end 1 year from now, 6 months from now, 3 years from now. If he cannot come in and build with you, build you up, further his provision and get you on his page, the relationship won't work unless you date down. You have to date down, because those are where the betas are.
The best thing a woman can do for a man is to let him be a man.
The delusion on display here is unreal.
I just don't see men as like a special category that they need to be worshipped in some separate way. Like, oh, men are really the reason why I'm here.
But don't you know that men allow you to have your rights? Because if it really came down to it, they can just overpower you and take all of your rights.
Actually, I have rights because of women. I have rights because women.
You have rights because
of
men. Okay, and if they declare war on you because of your rights, what happens? You are.
Okay, you're having a hypothetical conversation about something that hasn't happened. I'm having a real conversation about the fact that the reason why I'm able to vote is not because of men, but because of hard-working women.
And who allowed it?
A few good men.
Who allowed these things to happen? Men, not a few. A lot of good men. A lot of good men. Why do you think there are no woman civilizations? Because men will take them down.
If you create gender into class, then men are also files and by your logic.
Guess what? That is the minority of them.
And they say that some women are lacking in class these days. No idea where they ever would have gotten that idea from. But unfortunately, I foresee posts like this becoming ever increasingly more popular, especially with everything that's going on in the world currently. However, posts like this are specifically designed to garner attention and validation, specifically from other women. And my advice would be, if a person is in that desperate of a need of attention and validation from other women, try doing something positive with someone's time. Say nice things, spread encouragement, and other things that other women probably need to hear, instead of trying to spread disparagement and discontent. But unless, of course, someone is just advertising that they wanted to be a dependa, well, that's another matter entirely, and that's another subject that will certainly need addressing, possibly in the future.
Attitude. Some adults really need their ass beat in the worst way. Viewer discretion is advised.
Do you need that? Now walk off. You thought you ate. Attitude. Go, what's up? Now walk off. Bye.
Attitude.
You can set up.
Now walk off.
Attitude. You
Attitude.
won't look at my face.
Now walk off. Attitude.
Girl, bye. I could clock your teeth.
Now walk off.
So just imagine, you're a parent, you send your child over to like a sleepover of some sort, and you on the gram scrolling, and this is the video you see of your child. This is what some adults are trying to teach children in their spare time. I really wish I could see the person that's holding the camera, recording them and telling them what to do, because that is the person that needs their ass beat in the worst way. Not teaching the young women to be respectful young ladies. Not teaching them to aspire to something greater than themselves. Not teaching them how to carry themselves in public. Not teaching them how to love themselves properly. Not teaching them to respect themselves and not fit the stereotype that a lot of people have already set for them. But how to indulge and carry out the negative connotations for the aggressive black woman. It makes sense why the generation is going in the direction that they're going in, because this is what people are doing with actual kids in their spare time. But believe it or not, that's not the most baffling part. The most baffling part is that that person recorded this video and posted online for the world to see. And the reason they did that is because they know there's no true consequence to what they're doing. They know they're not going to be held accountable. In their minds, they're thinking, who's going to check me? Because they know their counterparts are not going to hold them accountable. It truly does sadden me to see a video like this. I'll be completely honest, because none of what they're teaching those young women in that video is going to be beneficial for them in the future, but more so how to hate themselves and how to hate one another. So this is a call to hold our counterparts accountable. We can't continue to allow people to post like this online or get away with this type of activity. Especially as black people, we can't afford for this type of to be happening in our community. And if you know anybody pushing this kind of message to children, I beg that you intervene and hold them accountable. At this point, there are people in our community that are bigger threats than the CIA themselves. But you know what? I know y'all want to hear none of that shit. I'm just a normal guy. Gotta get the change.
At midnight in the hanging tree, are you coming to?
This is for those that happen to think that that little stunt was funny. I would actually like someone to explain to me why this is funny. Because yes, there are unfortunately some women out there that are afraid to walk alone at night. But I feel I should mention, because apparently this isn't well known, there are men that are also afraid to walk alone at night. And yes, I do understand that some women are going to argue that women have always been afraid to walk alone at night. So therefore, it's only reasonable that men understand what women have been going through. Okay. So you're assuming that they don't, simply because that they're men, that they don't understand that there's dangers out there in the world. So naturally, the most reasonable thing that some women could do would be to try to scare men into being afraid. What exactly good are you doing in the world?
The smugness disappears real quick.
You made a comment earlier, women are better in every way than men. And the question that I would have is, I'm sorry, you said something about...
I didn't say anything close to that. The men versus women thing, I think it's silly. I think these traits, human traits, are human traits. Some were nurtured more in this person, some were nurtured. Like my dad being a stay-at-home dad, he was much better mother than my mother was. I am so sorry, Mom, if you see this. But he just was. He was a better mom than she was. And sometimes that's the case. Forget the gender role stuff and these are all human traits. You either are a gentle, nurturing, organized person who wants to take care of a kid, or you're not.
I will say not every woman is a mother, right. But I would just say this. Find me the society of women that are doing it by themselves.
I would love to see it.
Exactly. It doesn't exist.
Why though?
Because we are not able to sustain it. We live in a safe, civil society because the men have made an agreement amongst themselves to not blow it all up.
You know how there's only female gyms? Imagine if there was an only female social media platform.
Sounds like a wonderful idea. I can just see it now. Just imagine what women would be talking about on a women's only platform. Yeah.
If you could open an Instagram or TikTok account and only allow girls to follow you, only allow girls to see your videos, engage with your content, whatever, and every single man was just banned on the platform. They couldn't sign up.
I think that someone is under the impression that it would somehow be better without men. Because do they think that women never leave disparaging, nasty comments? I mean, they could take a look at some of the comments I receive.
That would literally be my dream, because all my TikTok videos is just filled with hideous men commenting vile, disgusting things.
Well, that is unfortunate. However, there is a reason the block button exists. But it is rather naive to think that if a social media platform was only consisting of women, that they would never receive any nasty comments. Please,
I just want to block every single man. I don't want men to see my content, but like you can't do that. You can't block every single man on social media. I feel like that would be a really great idea.
Lots of things have been called great ideas and often ended in disaster.
So my loyalty is my ability to provide. I don't think, modern women don't listen. They only hear what they want to hear. And so the man is trying to tell you, well, what's that got to do with loyalty? I can fund my own life. I don't need yours. Yeah, but like he said, if a man is trying to teach you something, he's trying to let you in on his life. Hey, this is what I do. This is what I've learned. This is what I've picked up on. And modern women don't care about that. And you're asking the man to lead. The man is leading by telling you, hey, be careful over there. Hey, don't do that. Hey, in my experience, this is usually what happened. But you don't listen. Like you're not listening in that clip. You don't listen. You don't hear the man. And you continue to do whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. And you don't have a man. You don't get a man. Period. Because my loyalty, my respect, my love comes from me feeling like I can provide you my resources. I can give to you from my work, my blood, my sweat, my tears. I can spend years giving to my kids, raising them up. Man, I'm thinking about that clip. I don't know if you've seen it, where a dad was sitting in the stands. And I don't know if it was his son's debut, but his son had made it to the MLB, Major League Baseball. And I think it might have been, one of the first times he was going out there and he was pitching. And the young man was pitching, and it seemed like every pitch, the father, they turn back over there to the father, and the father be over there celebrating, but he'd also be crying, right? I didn't see mama, I didn't see auntie, I didn't see nobody but daddy there. I could go back and look at the clip and maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't see nobody but daddy there. Maybe mama passed away. I don't know. That could be it. All I'm saying is dad was at the game celebrating his son. Hey, I'm here, man. This is a culmination of 19, 20, 25 years of me doing this, of me pouring everything I have into my son. Getting home from work tired, let's go out and throw the ball. Let's go out and practice hitting. It's a culmination. So when a man is trying to pour into you, you might not make it to a professional league, but your life will be greatly elevated and greatly increased just by listening and following his direction.
Is when I met my wife, we were just dating. She was like, well, what are we doing? And what is this for? And what is that for? And why are we doing this? And why are we doing that? I'm thinking like, girl, like chill, like we good. You know what I'm saying? But because she been to therapy, because she done work, because she was self-aware, because she knew she wasn't going to just settle for not knowing what's going on and where we at and what we're doing. So she made me more intention. She made me move on purpose. And God used her to disrupt my comfort zones, to take me out of place of going with the flow, to being on purpose. And when God could trust me with being on purpose, then he was able to move me into purpose. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to say for men that may struggle with some of the things that women will say is men have this perspective that a woman, and God showed me this, and so I want you to take it to the word if you don't want to take my word for it. God showed me this, that oftentimes, first of all, there are no gender roles that God gave in his word, that a man's supposed to do this and a woman's supposed to do this. There are certain things that Adam brought to the table before he gave him Eve. There are certain ways they tell you to respect and honor and love and different things like that. Absolutely. But the point that I'm trying to make is God said, I will create him a helpmeet for him. After he said man shouldn't be alone, I will create him a helpmeet for him. And men oftentimes, and I was guilty of this at a point in time too, have the belief system that our women help with our vision. They help with the kids. They help around the house. They help do administrative work. They help with all of these outside entities. But when it came to them helping us develop as men, we drew the line. But there was no limitations to what God said that help looks like. You got to understand that women see a potential in men that we don't always see. I'm pretty sure, bro, you can say that there is times that your wife saw something in you and you was like, You know what? That's good. I can see me, but I didn't see that till you said it. You know
That's
what
why
I'm
I
saying?
started laughing when you first started talking, because I said, damn, we must all go through the same experience.
And so women have the ability to see a potential in us that we oftentimes don't see in ourselves. But because we got this perverted perspective of we got to go into a situation and we got to lead, we got to show up at this man, we got to lead. A lot of times God is teaching you how to lead while he's teaching her how to submit. You know what I'm saying? He's teaching her how to submit while he's teaching you how to lead. I guarantee you, if you go to anybody who has been married for more than 3, 4, 5 years, all the way up to 10, 20, the man didn't go in a relationship knowing how to lead. He may have had money. He may have knew certain things from his upbringing, but he learned how to lead while she was learning how to submit. And so I say that to say, as fellas, do not, if you don't allow your woman to come in and help you in the areas that God intended, you will be underdeveloped. How do you know?
And here we go.
So, it appears that according to some women, that men are nothing without them. It's going to come as a great shock to a great many men who actually are very self-assured, confident, and happy being single, to learn that to women, they're nothing unless they have a woman. But yet, ironically, some women who like to quite obviously dress for success seem to be the ones that are most adamant that women are everything without them. But yet, it really doesn't make any sense. If a person was that self-assured and confident in themselves, then why would they try to bring other people down? Doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? So really, are those women as happy being single as they say? Or is this just some kind of a cover because they're really quite genuinely miserable?
I don't know where this came from, but I see it online and I'm like, who told an entire generation of young women that they're all amazing and should never change themselves? All these women are like, I'm great. I'm going to find someone who adapts to me. I'm not going to change for a man. What do you mean? First of all, we should be consciously working on ourselves. Everyone has a lot to work on. We should be working on ourselves 24/7 till the day we. But this whole thing of like telling women they're amazing and fantastic is literally insane. While also look around. Most women are single and not getting married and not finding husbands and not having kids. And it's like, no. When I met my boyfriend, the best thing I ever did was change a lot of things about me. I had a lot I need to work on. And it actually makes you better and makes you a better partner. If I was just like, no, I'm amazing, you're so lucky to be here, we wouldn't be together. I know this is left-wing women pushing this, but it's extremely toxic for young girls.
Ladies, let me give y'all some advice real quick, okay? When you first meet a man, do not ask him to pay your bills. It's going to make him feel like that's all you want from him, or he's going to put you in a broke category. When he take you on dates, do not be strolling through your phone the whole time, and do not talk about your ex at all, because he's going to feel like you're not that interested in him, okay? Do not post him or anything y'all do on social media, because it's not their business and he's not your man yet. From my understanding, men don't like when we address ourselves as alpha women, so we got to stop that, ladies. He will notice how hard you work. He will notice how you take care of business, and he gonna notice all the things you do for yourself. Also, let me say this. If you go to him often for advice and he notices you don't do what he say, you're going to push him away, because he's going to feel like you don't value his opinion, or he's going to feel like you're not willing to listen to him.
Is a man who is willing to take care of you, the kids, and the household, but has no ambition worth staying with.
When you say take care of, what do you mean?
He pays all the bills. He take care of the kids. He step in.
How he do that with no ambition?
No, he got money. I want more.
You know what?
And he's complacent.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the year when the job market is cooked, when the housing market is cooked, when people are walking away from their children, you got somebody at home that is paying your bills. He is taking care of you, and he is taking care of your kids, and you are figuring out, should I leave him? Are you cool?
Unfortunately,
for a lot of men. There are so many women telling them you have to be more ambitious. And it's because they want the ambition to look like what they want it to look like. But his ambition is waking up every day and going to work. Waking up every day and showing up for my children. Showing up for my home. Like, that's just as ambitious. You know how ambitious you have to be when you are going through depression? Your girl is telling you you need to do more, and then you don't feel like you're good enough, but she don't know the mental and emotional and spiritual battles that you have and how you still trying to show up for your home. That's ambition, baby. Take a moment, read, I think it's 1 Timothy 5:8. Because what it talks about is a man who neglects his home is the same as a man who denies his faith. This man is taking care of his home. There is faith and grace in that. He is being provisional. He's still leading. So we have to acknowledge that, because if not, you're going to lose that. Like, that's a gem, baby.
I make my own money. I make more than him.
Ooh.
Right?
And you said he pays all the bills?
Yeah.
And you make more money?
Yeah.
You mentioned that you make more money than him, and I want you to know that was not done by mistake. That was a systemic thing that was put into place so that the black woman can be elevated to start looking at their men like they're not doing enough.
Oh.
It is very intentional, the fact that you make more money, and even though your man is showing up for you, you start looking at him for like, why can't you do more?
The fact that this man is covering the bills, even though he knows you make more, let me tell you what he's doing. This man is willing to maybe put things on pause so that you can elevate. Think about it. What you make becomes almost just yours. What you choose to do, you have the freedom to pivot and pivot and pivot. Try this, go to school, because this man is saying, I'm going to sacrifice and take care of the foundational things so that you can have a choice whether or not you want to work or not. And so when you saying that man lacked ambition, I just think it's ambition in a direction you can't recognize.
We are now living in a world where women are objectifying men, which is crazy because women have been complaining for years about men objectifying them. And it's like your solution is to do the same thing back? What is that teaching them? I just saw a TikTok a couple days ago of this poor man who wore sweatpants to an airport, like you do, and there was a woman filming him. In what world is that okay? And the comment section was filled with women being like, let's see the gray sweats, let's see it, let's see what's there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Where's the line of mutual respect? How can you ask for respect from them if you're not willing to do the same? How does that make sense to you? It just makes me feel so ashamed that there are women out there that have so little respect for men, because then it makes the rest of us look bad. If I ever in my life make a man feel uncomfortable, that says everything about me and my character, and I would never, ever stand for that. You can't make this up, dude.
I do appreciate the conversation around a woman is learning to submit when a man is learning how to lead. But I think the word there is learning. Both of you are learning. I think if we look at it from the other perspective, too many times, a lot of these ladies, they think that they know too much. As a matter of fact, they think that they know more than the man. Maybe you do. Maybe you do in some instances. I'm actually thinking of a couple right now. They're up in age, might be close to 60 years old. But, you know, even though he ain't as smart as her, he got to do all the providing. She has to rely heavily on him. She's got a good mind, and this is what I was telling my wife. She's actually very smart. And she, you know, a lot of times, you know, I was sitting there talking to her last night. I went over to fix something for her, and walked up, you know, the stairs, and I was like, hey, Mr. So-and-so. He was like, oh man, I dozed off. So he was up there asleep because he'd been working. He had to run around all around town to get to her doctor's appointments and stuff like that. And then, you know, he had to work. So he was up there, you know, watching his Westerns, and he was tired. But I sat down there in the garage while I was, you know, kind of fixing a camera. And, you know, she's like, you know, I'm smart. I got book sense, but I don't got common sense. I don't got common sense, you know, so I'm a little slow. I got to write stuff down and it'll come to me later. right? And she always kids with her husband about certain things. But at the end of the day, she always respects him and she always protects him. It takes two people, right? And she don't outrun him. She might be sitting in the back seat because she like to talk. He don't talk too much. She just be in there talking. And you just be like, you could be there. I sat there for about an hour or so. I was only supposed to be there for 20 minutes. I sat there for an hour or so. My wife had to call me, hey, where you at? So she can talk. But she'll get to talking. But when he start talking, he'll say, now, listen, we got to do this, this, this. Okay, mister. All right, you the boss. You the man. And that's what we don't have from modern women. There's no stopping point. There's no off switch. I just got to hear you complaining and all day long. Men walk away from that type of treatment. They get away from that type of stuff.
I want to raise another man's kid. And I said, do not do it. I said, the reason they're so nice to you now is because life has humbled them. When they had the world as their oyster, you couldn't tell them anything. So you have the right to create your own family. Be kind to them and wish them well, but that is not your responsibility. All right, ladies? So the longer you wait and then all the baggage that you collect along the way, it's just going to be harder for you. So do not listen to these women, older women or women in your family or social media or people telling you, oh, you got time. Don't worry about it. You do not. You absolutely do not. It is a very different world dating in your 30s. I don't know. I was married, but it's a very different world trying to date and get something real in your 30s. And then 40s and 50s, it just gets even harder.
So I was scrolling on TikTok and I ended up on the side where a lot of grown men said they had to stop fighting for their kids because it was affecting their mental health and it was affecting them financially. And it's just like, it just became too much. And they fought as best as they could to try to see their kids. Now I'm scrolling through the comments and 90% of women is like, that's weird. You need to fight for your kids. You know what's more weird? That you think that a man should have to fight for his kids. Why are you fighting for something that's supposed to be equally yours? You know what it is? Because bitter women think they own you after you have a baby with them. You don't give them what they want. They think they own you. And all a woman has to do is lie once and the kid gets swept away. Let's talk about it. You do not own a man just because you have a baby with him. You don't have a right to lie on your baby dad because he don't want to be with you or because he don't give you what you want. Okay, that's the part that I don't like. That a lot of women are in the comments like, oh, and you know what? I get it. I get it now as an adult. Like, why does a man have to keep fighting? What I feel as though is let her suffer for a little bit. The kid's gonna grow up and learn what the parent did. Here's a double standard that I don't like. Okay, if a man tells you he doesn't want to have a baby, right, and you tell him that you'll do everything in your power not to have a baby because he's telling you as a man he's not financially ready, he's not mentally ready, in no way, shape, or form he's ready to have a baby. But then you take it upon yourself because you end up falling in love and having, feelings for him. You decide that you still want to get pregnant. Now, when you get pregnant, you tell him I'm pregnant and you want him all of a sudden to change the narrative because that's something that you did to yourself. The problem is women listen to respond and not listen to understand. If he's telling you that he's not financially ready and you decide to keep the baby and he tells you he wants nothing to do with it, at that point you are going to be a single mom. And that's kind of what you deserve because you don't get to dictate somebody else's movements in life based off of your emotion. And that's what you females do. And that's a prime example of what I try to say in my videos. I don't go against women, I go against bitter women. You're not allowed to hold somebody hostage because of your feelings. Tighten the up.
Look in the mirror and just hear what you're saying because the dumb hurts, honey.
I love it when men use this argument that they're basically saying like men are only good for physical labor. They don't understand that, number one, many women are handy. And number two, whatever we're not able to take care of, we can hire someone. There's many services out there. Whatever it is that needs to be done, we can hire someone.
You look at a construction site and 9 out of 10 of them are women. Be realistic. This women are handy stuff is just like, come on, honey. But she says, oh, we can just hire someone. We can just hire someone. And you know who you hire? You hire another man. You hire another man. So drop your I don't need a man bullshit because you do need a man.
We stopped slapping
So they forgot that they don't have the strength of a man.
Right. Yeah, I think it's good that we stop slapping bitches.
I don't know about that. There's a few I would like to slap.
I'm looking at all these women fight men online. I was like, why?
That's why.
Yeah.
Because you stop slapping them, and the female ego is ridiculous. I mean, these women, like, they literally think what they see in the movies is real. I'm not saying just go around smack random women.
Yeah.
I'm saying you start acting like a or you want to get in someone's face. All it takes is one smack to realize you're not as strong as a man.
When I grew up, I used to see my father hit my mom, and I hated it. So I was like, you know what? I'm never going to do that again.
And now your wife's out of control.
Who do you think is more complicated, men or women?
Women.
It's about time. Finally, y'all admit it.
Because we're smart.
You're smart.
You guys aren't smart enough to be complicated.
Wouldn't the smart thing to not be complicated?
If you're stupid, you're super simple, no?
Isn't simple usually better?
No.
How, Sway?
You don't like complexity? No, you don't like complexity, you like simplicity.
If things are too complicated, then it's like you're just making your life harder. Why not make things simple? Life's already hard.
Do you hate women?
No, wait, whoa. No. What made you think that?
Well, you like simplicity more, no? Are you?
But I know I'm not, because I'm the most nice nigga of all the nice niggas in the whole universe.
Do you love shopping with your wife or significant other?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love coming to Costco with your wife?
0.
How much do you love coming to Costco with your wife?
0. Damn. Can I say negative?
So what's the number?
0.
How much do you love coming to Costco with your wife?
Without her, 10.
1 to 10, how much do you love coming to Costco with your wife?
How about 0?
Do you love coming to Costco with your wife?
Oh, 0. That's why I'm by myself. She's over there. We come here all the time, so I probably 9 or 10.
Oh, wow. Okay, right. That's 1.
0.
What's the number?
Minus 0.
How much do you love coming to Costco with your wife?
Say nothing.
What's the number?
I guess 0.
How much do you love coming to Costco with your wife?
0.
How much do you like coming to Costco with your wife?
0. 10.
Yo, when it comes to men and women shopping together, it's just not it. We just do not enjoy it. If we have to go someplace, we know we could get in and get out and be out. When it comes to a woman shopping, she can spend hours in wherever. Shopping, Costco, Walmart, Target, you name it. She will take forever in that. If you're accompanying her, dog, it's only probably 2 hours because you start complaining after the first, 30 minutes. Like, yo, how long are we gonna be here? In this whole video, there was only one guy that said he enjoyed it, and he was the oldest gentleman, I think, out of all of them. Probably has the best marriage because, a lot of marriages that don't work. But all these dudes are just honest. They're like 0. Because when I gotta go to places like this, I'm in and out. I know what I gotta come to get. When you're with your wife, yo, there's always extra stuff you gotta get. It takes so much longer. You're making freaking detours, going here, going there, and honestly, it's just not fun. We don't invite women to do the stuff that we like to do with the boys because we know they wouldn't enjoy it. So we're good at just thinking, I wouldn't want that done to me, so why am I gonna put her through it? You know what I'm saying? And we like to just have a good time. Whereas women, they're like, nah, I want you to come with me. I want you to do this with me. And it's all she like to do. She don't give a how we feel, just that we're there. But shout out to these dudes. They doing what they gotta do, still making their wives happy by going and doing things they don't like to do because that's what dudes do. We just endure. But they are gonna be honest and say, yo, I got 0 interest in being here with you. Just a fact. We could be married forever, but do I want to be here with you? Nah.
Why are men in their 50s only want young women? Because they're going through their midlife crisis, darling. When a man hits 50, they think they got one foot in the grave. And when they go get a young woman, they're trying to still keep their youth. So instead of going gently into that good night, they go get them a young woman to make them feel young again. Because they know they got that one foot in the grave. Like they're half of 100.
This is not to disrespect anyone. I'm only telling you what men think when you guys are online tearing men down. We seriously want to know, do you know what you look like? I'm talking about, do women really know when they're unattractive? Because when some of you talk down on men, we say to ourselves, look at her face. We say, and she had nerve to jump in front of a camera looking like that and then talk negative about someone. Do you women really know when you're too unattractive to be online shooting shots at someone? Do we need to start telling you guys when you're too unattractive to be online talking about someone? Because we will. This woman is in her 50s, littered in makeup, drawn on eyebrows, people's hair stapled in the top of her head. When you guys are online tearing men down, looking the way that some of you look, we say, but look at her lips. She has a permanent smile just like the Joker from the first Batman. We say to ourselves, where does she get the audacity? We say, is she crazy? And then we say, back to the streets with her. Turbulence, people.
Yeah, and I tend to agree with the sentiment that Jedediah was making. These modern women, and I think that lady's probably in her 50s, probably speaking as ignorant as that. Oh, we're handy, but if we're not handy, we can hire somebody. Who are you going to hire? It's going to be a man. What are you talking about? We don't need men. And then they changed to, well, what I mean is, we don't need a man. We don't need a man in the house. No, y'all meant what y'all said in the first place when you said that men are useless. But because, and this is what y'all do, y'all switch up. Because y'all having troubles doing stuff, now all of a sudden it's, oh, well, we don't need a man. We don't need a permanent man. We don't need a man in the house. We can do it. We just call a man to do what we need to do and he can leave. So that's not a threat to us. He's okay. He's a good guy because we vetted him ourselves. Okay. Just admit that you're useless. Just admit that you need a man. Just admit that you can't do it like you thought you could.
It's so many women that want high quality men and they want to be married and this is that and the third, right? Y'all ruin it. Y'all blow relationships with quality men because y'all don't know how to be in a faithful, committed relationship. Y'all don't know how to shut down the outside attention from men and just focus on one man. You're really keeping the doors open. You're really keeping your options open. You're not really having the time to bond with this man versus him. He's really trying to get to know you, right? He's really focused on only you. And men are really not that complicated. If they want you and they choose you, they're really going to focus on just you. It's like, yeah, y'all talking back and forth. Like, all of a sudden, your pattern changes. You ever just notice that when a female cheats, she don't just cheat and break up. She cheats and she leaves that relationship and goes on to another one because she's been cheating all along. If you want to know if your girl is cheating, tell her to turn off her social media.
How realistic are y'all both able to really withstand a relationship with a woman that makes more money than you?
I don't know. I mean, I've met plenty of women that are up, but I've never dated one because I made money so I can have a family. I make money so I can protect and provide for you, so we can have children, so we can have a house, so they can go to great schools, so we can be together. A lot of the women that I have came across with that are financially stable and financially affluent, they use their money to get away from me, meaning men. And I am not the type of person that likes to be somewhere where I am not celebrated, I'm tolerated. So a lot of the rich chicks that and a lot of them my friends, they my dog. I know by talking to them that they see their money as a way away from men, away from the family, away from a two-parent household. I only made this to bring it to you so we could bust it down. That ugly money. That's my answer. That ugly money. Did I answer it?
You answered it very honestly.
That ugly money. But I mean, listen, I'm not opposed to it. Goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Young man, no. Jada Waiter. That ugly money. Jada, way you deserve better, baby. That ugly money. That man playing in your face. That ugly in public. That ugly money. And that man paying women what he should be paying you. See, that's a violation. If he gave some dick away, that's here no there. But the fact of the matter is that he gave the funds away with the dick. See, that's cheap. I would never put a bitch up. I might goddamn dick a bitch down. That ugly money. You ain't gotta have no rap record to have no motherfucking money, baby. That ugly money. And they got nice smiles and good health. That ugly money. I'm sorry. I kind of went somewhere.
I'm trying to tell you guys at this point. Like, it's just the fact that I've learned something and I owe it to myself as a real one to each one teach one. And I've made it so affordable that, it's $20 and I can show you exactly how you can make $20,000, $30,000 per month. You ain't got to take off your clothes. You ain't got to do OnlyFans. You ain't got to subject yourself to BS or whatever. But you can make real money on social media to the point where your children can run it and give them all the money if that's the case. You dig what I'm saying? Just DM the word content. The course is just $20, or you can book a one-on-one call with me where I teach you directly or whatever. It's a little more of a here nor there, but you can get everything you need for $20. DM # content. I don't know what else to tell you guys, man. Unless you just love that job that you hate, and you want to work 40 hours a week for $40,000 for 40 years to retire broke, this is life-changing information. And if not, hey, keep doing it. I'm not trying to sell you, but it's here for you. That other way.
So my husband told me that he doesn't love his stepson and that most of the time he doesn't even like him. And what do you know? Now we're getting divorced. This is a conversation that we had on December 1st, our 10-year anniversary, when he told me that he really doesn't like my son and that he resents him for the fact that I put him first and that my son is priority to me above anything else. And you know what? That's okay, because that's never going to change. So on December 1st, when we had that conversation, that's when I knew I was done. Okay, that's when I knew I was finished. I'm like, I'm so gone. Like, you don't love this child that you have raised kind of for 10 years, this kid that you've seen grow up, this kid that is a direct reflection of me, because I have poured everything in my life into raising him properly. You're gonna tell me that you don't love him and that you want me to put you, a 33-year-old man, first over raising an 11-year-old boy? Absolutely not. So on our 10-year anniversary, I told him, I said, yeah, I'm done. You need help. You need to go to therapy. My son is not my soon-to-be ex-husband's child. Now, if he were his child, that would be a different story. I would choose to put my husband first because it's a direct reflection of how a man and a wife should be, and it should be a good example.
You shouldn't have married him. And I might catch a lot of heat for this, but it's not because he's the problem. Just think about it, because what you said was that if he was your son's biological father, that you would be putting him first. But that's not the case. He's not his biological father. And even though he was there from almost the start, your son was 1 year old. That man lived 10 years in that household as a guest. He was never accepted as father or as husband. He was continuously reminded in all of the little things and all of the big things that you would choose your son over him in every single case. And not only would you silently just do what you thought what was best, you would throw it in his face, just like you are here, because your husband opened up, he was vulnerable, and he said that he had resentment towards a child. Like, he knows that's not right, but something caused it. And I would argue that it's not anything wrong within him. I would argue it is because of the dynamic of the relationship that you are a part of. And that's something that you need to be part of to fix, but you are obviously not, because you are blaming him and you are setting it up for him to fix his issue. Am I right, guys? Like, this is a very valid fear and valid reasoning as to why a man is not going to want to date a single mom.
Hold on, though. I want to know.
Hey, I want to see a lack of accountability in real time. Few discretions advised.
Because you skipped to she cheating on you, she driving your car, blah, blah, blah. What type of foundation did you set? Were you cheating first?
Never.
Hold on. Hold on. What does your household look like, right? Because a lot of times when a woman starts to wander, there's no discernment in the household. There's no stability. There's no leadership. There's no romance. There's no patience. There's no hello.
I'm convinced that this show, Pop the Balloon, 20v1, all of those shows were created for the downfall of black people. Specifically relationships for the black community. Because neither one of them helped them in any way, shape, or form. Now, I am thoroughly disappointed in his brother for even going on the show and telling them his business. However, that's not the problem here. He told them that his girl cheated on him and she was out in the streets doing all kind of wild. And this woman sat up here and said, well, what kind of household did you have for her to be in? What does your house look like as to why she went to go cheat? Is there discernment? Is there protection? Is there all this extra shit that has nothing to do with her cheating? Because that is a personal choice. If she dislikes the space that she is in, why doesn't she just leave? It's really that simple. Go be with the man you cheated with. He's clearly showing you the attention and affection and discernment that you are looking for. So go be with him. No one else is responsible for your decision making by cheating on that man. The lack of accountability in the room is absolutely insane. Did you not hear the cheers when she was feeding us that?
So what kind of household do you have that your woman driving your and going to see another man? And I'm not saying that it's right.
Ma'am, you are in fact saying that it is right because you are removing accountability from that grown woman for making such a stupid decision. If it isn't right, there is no excuse as to why you should be doing it. You sat on that stage and told that man the reason she's cheating is because there's no discernment in your house. There's no leadership. There's no protection. There's no love and affect. What are we talking about? There is no excuse for cheating. You are just as immature as that woman that he's talking about because you lack accountability the same way she lacks accountability. Y'all blame everyone else but yourselves for the decisions you make.
But I'm saying is that you are the leader of the household. You are supposed to provide the covenant. You are the shepherd of the household. And so if you look at what your woman is doing, if you follow a happy woman home, you'll find a happy husband that answers the door. So what kind of environment did you create that this woman out here running the streets?
When they say accountability is a woman's kryptonite, boy, they did not miss with that one. Fellas, never allow them to make you believe you are the reason they cheated on you. That's not how that shit works. Cheating is a personal decision. If you decide to cheat, it's all on you. If you feel like your environment isn't good and that person's not treating you the way that you want to be treated, fucking leave. But of course they would never do that because they want to have their cake and eat it too while simultaneously having you take the blame for it. Please remember, if it's one thing you can never make a person do, is cheat on you if that's not what they actually want to do. Yeah, keep the change.
Women round even the lowest amount of tasks to the nearest everything. This would mean like as soon as she's got to do one thing off of your list, now she's doing everything. She rounded it right to everything. I think they call this a dishonest absolute. This is where I changed the narrative of the story to minimize your contribution, maximize mine without any evidence. I do everything around here. You do not do everything. You do not do everything. That is not a thing. Like, all you do is go to work. I also notice women, when they count, I watch this in our women's group, they count their tasks on a daily basis individually. Like I put 200 dishes away. I put 25 shoes away. I cleaned up 5,000 Legos. Like I did so many things today. All you did was one. You just went to work. He's like, when I do a 1%er job, I do one of the hardest jobs people can't do. I do a dangerous job. That's a very complicated job to do. I'm an engineer or I'm a high-rise construction builder. Like this is a dangerous and difficult job. This is hard to do. Well, they don't know what you do, so they think you just did one thing. You just went to work. Doesn't matter what that is.
Think about it. This man was there from the jump. This man was there from the jump. Oh, you're not my son's father. This man was there from the jump. Maybe you didn't hear what was said. This man was there from the jump. Your son was like a year old. So yeah, he was there from the beginning. When whatever happened with your other person didn't work out, he was right there and he stayed for 10 years. And so at some point in time, because you probably been disrespectful, at some point in time, because you putting him off to the side, at some point in time, because you popping off the mouth like he was doing in that clip there, he said, man, I don't really care about your son like that. I don't really care about your boy like that. You respect him more than you respect me, and he hadn't really even done anything. And he's right. The boy has just existed. He might be a good kid, but he just existed. I gotta go to work. I pay for him. It's me. When you off doing whatever you doing and you at work or whatever not, it's me that's got to be with him. It's me that's keeping him. Hey, why don't you take him? You going fishing? Why don't you take him with you? It's me that's got to do that. And you still respect him more than me. For what reason? When I've been here the whole entire time. Modern women, they run their mouths and they don't really truly understand what they're saying. And that's why don't nobody want to be bothered with your silly behind.